Shut up and sit down.
Going live now.
Dope. 3. How's it going?
Oh, yeah, we're live.
Oh. Hey, guys. Thank you for tuning into the Wyld Style Podcast. This is our first episode. I'm your host, Sambo. I got my guest, Gabe, who is also my martial artist coach. And I got my girlfriend, Marina Ray. And thank you to Channel 9 Studio for letting us do this here today. We're going to be talking about UFC 246, Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really, really interesting fight as Conor hasn't fought since, October of 2017?
It's been a while. It's definitely been a while.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we're actually going to be start repping just for everybody. In case anybody is going to ask me, who I'm going for. Yeah, I'm definitely going for the Irishman.
See,
he makes me want to be Irish, but that's just the whiskey talking.
He wants to make anybody be Irish. Man, I remember one time when I first started watching him fight.
I am Irish.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Awesome.
That's very true.
The price of being white.
You start talking
automatically Irish or German, or you can pull it off.
All of them.
Exactly. You start talking like him out of nowhere. It's pretty funny. Yeah, dude. I think it's gonna be a very interesting fight. When I first found out that he was gonna, what was it, about almost like 6 months ago, right? It was when they announced it, or almost, yeah.
I wouldn't say 6 months. It's been a while though. I think so, about 4 or 5 months. Yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah, because they were trying to find him an opponent at first, and then out of nowhere there was like the poster with Cowboy in his hat.
Yeah.
Conor, like kind of shadowy, and I was like, oh my god, no. And then I remember tagging Marina. I was like, oh, this is not happening. This is awesome. This is gonna be the best fight.
And to be honest with you, like in January, it's funny because Dana White said that in January it's like his slow month, which is hilarious to say for a $4 billion plus company. To say that that's their slow month, but that's the way it is out here locally. You can't get hardly anybody out here in January, but in February, they kill it.
Yep.
They don't got to do any advertisements. You put a few fighters on, and everybody, for some reason, wants to be there. So
exactly.
I think this is a really good way to start off the year with a crazy card like that.
Oh, yeah. And he said it himself. Conor said it. He's like, dude, I'm gonna blow the roof off of these guys. Like, this, I'm going to set the tone for the fights of, 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And he is, dude. He's a fucking star.
Yeah.
Like, he's insane.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to say the F word. I'm in trouble now. But
so you cuss more?
About to get grounded.
She starts texting me. Just wait till you get home.
The dude shits.
Oh, yeah.
$100 bills. It's crazy.
He's insane. It's crazy, though, because he rose to the top within 2 years of his career.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that happening.
He had a pretty big push, though. It was kind of crazy. So, my old boxing coach, and I think you remember him, Josh Hernandez.
Mm-hmm. He's a stud.
Yeah, he was crazy awesome.
Yeah.
Crazy awesome. And to me, it was interesting because we were, like, super broke. He had no place to stay, so he was staying at my place. And my brother was always off because I was roommates with my brother. My brother was always off, so he's just chilling on my brother's sleeping on my brother's bed.
Yep.
I'm in my bed, and I'm watching as he's trying to sleep. I have the on my phone one of the countdowns.
Okay.
And it's for Conor.
Yep.
Right? He's only had one fight. And I'm just like, dude, this dude is something else. I'm like, and I'm listening, right?
Yep.
And he gets out from the room, opens the door, comes in, and he looks at it for about 6 minutes, and he says, that guy's going to be champ. And he walks away. I'm like, fucking random. Okay. Lo and behold, 2 fucking belts. You got to be kidding me.
Sammy said he's holding two different weight classes. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Tells me later, I told you so. I'm like, shut up. I hate that shit. Anything fight related, like, that. It's spot on.
Oh, dude, it's insane. It's crazy. Like, I mean, even we would talk. I mean, when we were talking, we'd just be like, at first, because everybody goes off the edge. Some people have their times that are just like troublemakers. Me,
yeah.
Yeah. And
the goal is to not get caught.
Yeah, what's
Right.
Connor?
Which is
Was
a
it?
horrible goal. Your goal should be to be like a good person. But
Connor was great at getting caught through a freaking what was that little a dolly to the freaking bus window.
yeah,
Oh, Khabib.
that was
You know.
a G move. Not gonna lie. Like,
Me too. But he took
I
out
know
Michael
who
Michael
flies the
Chiesa.
whole crew to
yeah,
come fuck someone up.
that's what I'm talking about.
That's true.
Like, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of like that to a point. But if I have hundreds of $1 million and you're like messing with my dude, why not?
Artemis, right? Artemis Lobov. He's freaking slapped him in the face
goat.
and he said, "Where's Connor?" and slaps the shit out of him. I'm like, dude, why would you do that? And then he tried to hide it and be a good guy. Don't get me wrong, I love Khabib. I think he's gonna be he is a legend already. But like, why would you do that? Why would you go and smack one of Connor's best friends and then you obviously know that Lobov's gonna call Conor McGregor and then he ends up coming back and Jesus.
I just think,
A
why
plane
would you
full of
slap
dudes.
anyone in the first place? It's a bitch move.
Well, because
You're asking
it's
for it, though.
because when you do it, honestly, as a fighter, like, it is a bitch move, but that's like your play. You slap somebody and you don't slap them hard. It's the equivalent of like hitting them.
yep.
And then if they don't do anything back, it is what it is.
Hmm.
It all is what you can always just say it was a little slap. If you go to court, you're like, it was a little tap.
It's a little
No
tap.
big deal, right?
Why are you taking him into court?
It is what it is. And then you take him into court, you call the police, oh, you're a little bitch, I can't believe you're supposed to be a fighter, all that shit. So
You get punched in the face, you get slapped, and you can call the cops on me.
Because once
Tattletale.
you start throwing blows, that's when it is. Like,
Yep.
and then you got like a bunch of MMA fighters. You got Lobov, and then you got Khabib, and then you got his little posse, and then you got all these MMA fighters, and then you got the poor security. They're coming in like, oh, we gotta help them. Good luck. It's like those two gorillas. You seen that video of the two
$10 an
gorillas?
hour.
And somebody's pissed off. Somebody's got to go do something. What are you gonna do? Two gorillas are going at it. You let them scrap.
Yep.
That's what it is with MMA fighters, dude.
Yep.
If there's a bunch of them, unless you got a gun, you're a cop or you're trained, stay out.
Well, just remember when John Jones and DC squared off for I think it was the
Yeah.
first time, and he
First time.
shoved him in the. He shoved him. They shoved Dana White through the freaking poster. He was like, I was scared for my life. Like, I didn't know what to do.
I
I'm getting
understand
afraid
that
of
one
two
because
freaking
even if
monsters.
you're mad, like you're not gonna hit the boss.
And that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. DC threw a punch. John Jones threw a punch.
yeah.
John Jones landed his punch.
And someone threw Dana in there. That was awesome.
Poor guy, man. And
Yes.
he's always in the middle. He had a girl in between Cowboy and Connor today, and she was just like, like she
Who?
was just I don't know who it was. It was
Oh.
some black girl. She was like right in between both of them, and they were just like, and then she was so serious. She looked like she was about. Of course, he's gonna put her there.
Yeah.
Dana's not gonna get pushed again. But I mean, they're so respectful, and that right there, like I told you yesterday, is that they were all about like. Oh, and I was telling you, do you like the heated stare downs or do you like the calm, collective? Hey, we're gonna throw it down. And you told me yesterday, you're like, dude, if that doesn't get you excited for a fight, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah. Just like, okay, so the Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
Two bad dudes. Like,
That
bad.
fight sucked.
You know what I mean? What?
I was pissed.
Oh, wow. Okay. No, like, I thought the fight was awesome. But
I
two
didn't like
different-
the way it ended.
I love the way it ended. I honestly love as a legitimate fighter, being
Mm-hmm.
through this for years and years and years, a lot of fan base didn't. Me personally, like, he did so much damage. And to be honest with you,
He did.
I scored it differently. Like, a lot of guys would be like, oh, those are all 10-9 rounds. No. Nate was getting his ass handed to him. I don't care if you can take an ass whooping for 25 minutes. There is a thing called, the judges' scorecards. And if you're getting your ass kicked and you're not able to do all that much, and it's like you're being dominated, it becomes a 10-8
true.
round.
I totally
it doesn't.
agree.
It's not 9. It doesn't go 9-9. Doesn't go 10-9. It's a 10-8 round.
Yes,
That's the way it goes.
But like everyone says, and I believe it too, is that Nate Diaz's rounds are the end rounds.
Yeah.
He waits and he was
That's
coming
true.
back.
He does.
He was coming back, and then they stopped the fight. You don't think
A
he
little
was?
bit. A little bit.
I mean,
A little
I
bit.
felt like he started attacking him. He was hitting him hard. He was coming at him, and then that's when Masvidal started stepping back. He's like, okay, this,
He
it's
had
true.
his moments for sure.
Yeah.
Dude. It's a Diaz.
Yeah.
Any Diaz brother, they're gonna have
Diaz
their
is
moments.
my boy.
You know what I mean? They're gonna have their moments, but like, let's be real. What was it that Masvidal was doing that all of a sudden when he had his moments, Masvidal didn't recover? Like, it was
True.
the entire time. Think about it, and people want to
He
think
was
about
whipping his ass.
Like, he started to come back. All right, cool. But let's back it up. For 15 straight minutes, Masvidal didn't let off that gas pedal
No.
once.
And he never does. He never does. That guy is already a legend.
Yeah. So proper 12. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Proper.
Yes. All right.
If you
I
guys
guess
don't know, this is my producer Tim. He's in the little screen up there.
What's up?
He's the guy he's my producer, and he is a badass.
No, I totally
Thanks,
agree with
man.
you though. I'm a Nate Diaz fan, and I just am.
I tried to ask Nate to be on my show,
I just
but
think-
he never replied.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
I was
course.
like, "Hey, bro, like we're buddies. You remember me from high school?"
Yeah.
I didn't go to high school with him.
Nate,
I was just like,
Sorry,
"What's up,
Nate,
bro?"
who?
Like,
Nate Diaz?
I never got into the Diaz
I
brothers.
wrote him on Instagram. I'm like, "Hey, dude, if you ever want to be on my podcast, like, there's an open spot for you whenever you want."
You make
to.
him nervous, dog.
I know.
That's what it is.
I
You're
probably
making him
do.
nervous.
I
He's
prob-
like,
it's
dude,
probably all the
well, you are the
tattoos.
wild one.
Sammy's podcast. This is the Wild Style.
That's what I'm
podcast.
saying.
That's
That's
what
what
it
I
is,
said. What's up, Nate?
Yeah, I never got into the Diaz brothers, bro. Like, I got into their fight.
I don't
fight
like
style.
the brother. I don't like Nick.
Yeah, wow, they're the damn near. It's carbon copy of each other.
No, I don't think so.
How?
Yeah, like
don't know.
I have
Shit,
to
look at every
I have-
interview.
Yes, I have told her that the same
I know.
thing. I said they are the exact same person.
Nick is just creepy to me.
And they have a very unique style of fighting.
Exactly.
They slap box.
Nick is
They
creepy.
slap box.
Exactly.
Yeah, they
Nate
slap
is
box.
just. At first I didn't like Nate because he's just a little shit talker, but then he just grew on me.
Yeah, I guess everybody has their own degree of liking the kind of shit that people talk. Me personally, I
love
love
Nate
the more
Diaz.
shit talk that's like real. Like one like
Connor.
when you're
Cowboy.
Connor,
No,
yeah, for the most part.
Cowboy.
Connor, I think Connor. The reason why Nate Diaz got mad at Connor was because they have been the shit talk of UFC. Besides
Yeah.
Tito Ortiz, Tito Ortiz
Yeah.
was the beginning.
Yeah, he kind of made that famous.
Yes, he did.
He and then Chael Sonnen came around, and then
Yes,
these guys come
Chael
around.
Sonnen. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, dude!
So
Chael
it's like,
Sonnen. You could never forget Chael Sonnen. No matter how bad you want to, you will never forget him.
yeah,
Him and Forrest Griffin.
him and
Was
Forrest.
it Forrest Griffin? Would they were like rivalries in the Ultimate Fighter?
No, bro, that was a Vanderlei.
No, who fought Forrest Griffin in the Ultimate Fighter, the finale? Was it
that
Chael
was-
Sonnen?
No, bro, you're killing me. That was Stephen
You
Bonner.
guys.
Stephen Bonner, dude. Why do I get them mixed up? I'm sorry, my
Pause.
bad.
Pause. Michael is calling you guys out.
Yo,
What's Michael
Michael
Mike
always
Garcia?
Garcia.
Okay.
He always snaps me
I just
dirty
thought I should
stuff,
let
and
you guys
I
know.
can't show him because my mom will get mad if I have dirty stuff on my
Text
Snapchat.
him a picture of a
He
pizza.
says you're a gorilla.
I'm a gorilla. How am I a gorilla?
Feed going right now.
Oh yeah, it's on there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
All right.
Gotta get back.
Yeah, just text him a picture of a pizza, and it'll occupy him like for an hour. He'd be like, "Squirrel."
Thank
That's
you guys.
That's just his thing.
Real quick, thank you to everybody who is tuning in. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is about UFC 246 and a bunch of fighting random things. Right now, we're talking about Stephen Bonner and Forrest Griffin. My bad. I mixed them
Yeah.
up, dude. To be honest, though, they
Yeah.
kind of look like brothers.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah, we got to get back on topic, bro. You're killing me. You're killing me. Anyway, yeah.
But, okay, so how do you think this matchup is going to go in general? Like, you got Cowboy Cerrone. This guy's tough as nails. Yes, he's been knocked out his last two fights. TKO, he lost to Tony Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
Then he fought Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is just this rising star who's amazing. I think he's amazing. I think he's great. He's tough as shit.
Dude, Cowboys fought the who's, man.
Exactly. That's
I
that's
know.
what
Win or
I'm saying.
loss.
Exactly. He's the most. He's got the most UFC fight bonuses. Like, he's just a G.
Bro,
I love him.
like
He will take a fight within a day, probably.
I know. Yeah, actually, he does. He fights, and then Sunday he's calling Dana, be like, "Hey, when's my next fight?" I'm like, who the hell does that?
Yeah, in the press conference, he said, he's like, Dana, I'm going to call his ass right after this fight and be like, hey, what's next?
But he said that multiple times over. It's like,
yeah.
who does that? Like,
And-
I'm just mangled. But no, hey, where's my next fight? I'm like, you just got your ass kicked.
That's what
Really?
makes him Cowboy. Like,
Love it.
that's what's made him famous. That's what made him big, is because and they say it multiple times, like, dude, Cowboy will fight anywhere, anytime.
Yep.
Like,
Any place. I love it.
Yeah,
always down.
he's
I
ready
got
to go.
Connor, though. I've got Connor. But, okay, so I've always said it. I always say this, that the greats lose in twos. Okay? If you don't believe me, Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman,
Yep.
Frankie Edgar,
Max Holloway.
Max Holloway. Was
Mike
it in
Tyson.
twos?
Yep. He
too.
lost to what's his face? The little freaking Russian dude. He just lost his belt.
Well, yeah, but not in twos. That was just one after like a 12-fight win streak.
No, because
so.
he lost to Connor. He's lost to Connor.
No. They lose in what I mean by twos, like
Two, like,
consecutively.
Oh.
yeah.
Joanna?
So Frank.
KKK.
Joanna. There you
Yep,
go.
Joanna.
Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Henry Cejudo. So I'm wondering. So here's my thing though. Did Connor already do the two with the boxing? Or does it stay? Because the greats lose in twos in the cage.
Okay, so-
but he went into two different sports.
So that's what he said in the press conference. The press conference is some guy said, "Oh, Connor, you're on the 2 losing streak.
Yeah.
Now you're coming back and you want to fight again." And Connor said, "I don't really. I'm not word for word, but he said I'm not really in a 2-loss streak because." Yes, I lost to Khabib, and he says something funny, calls him a bitch or something.
Yeah.
And so then after that, then he goes, and then I lost in a different sport.
Yeah, completely.
A boxing sport. He's like, so I wouldn't say that I'm on a downfall. He's like, I just had to regroup, which he is. If you see him now,
Yeah.
everything. He's
0-1 in boxing, but he's $80 million richer. Trust
not
me,
only
guys,
that,
he didn't lose.
No, that's
It's good.
and that's what I'm saying is like if you see him now, his whole mindset is different. It's crazy. Like I
Yeah.
told you, he's like all spiritual. If you see
I
him,
like him
have
so
you watched
much.
the embedded episodes that me and Marino were watching? Is he after he gets done grappling, he gets up and he like and points up like you've never seen Connor do
I lost
anything
my
like that.
respect
I
for
have never
him
seen him, and
for a little bit.
I love Connor. Like I was a big fan of Connor until he started being stupid. Then I'm just like, well, you know what? You're human. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We all get crazy. Money's getting his head. Cool, whatever. But still,
Just
you're
having some
annoying.
fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was a fan either way. Even through all his shenanigans, like there's certain kind of shenanigans that like I can understand. Some that I can't, but like the whole thing with John Jones. His shenanigans, I can't stand John Jones. I hope he loses all the time.
Thank you, dude.
Yes. And I just can't, because his shenanigans were different. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Connor
wait.
punched an old man. That's messed up. Okay, but he just punched an old man.
Wait, do you know why he did that?
No, I don't. I'm pretty sure the old man says that to piss him off.
He didn't
Oh yeah, because he didn't
take
drink
a
his
shot of his prop.
It is what it is. But it is what it is. But yeah, he's in his situation doing what he does. But John Jones actually hit a pregnant chick
with
He
the
did-
car.
With
and he
car.
goes back for his either his pipe or his coke.
Yeah,
One or the other.
it was
think
his
it's
Coke.
Coke.
He went back, couldn't find it, took off running,
God
and then they
forbid
found
that
it in the
you,
car.
you helped out the lady. No, I gotta get my paraphernalia.
Yeah, a pregnant. That's
It's
what
a
I
diff-
said.
it's
And then-
different.
And then people are like, "Oh, Sam, how are
Okay,
you so hard on?
but-
How are you so hard on John Jones?
Conor
We're
McGregor,
human,
sexual
we make-"
assault.
Okay, first off, these girls are throwing themselves at him because he's got money, and then they want to
True.
freaking go and
Yeah,
start.
in
I'm just
today's day and
saying.
age, that's the way it is. Like, you can look at a girl and be like, you sexually harassed me, and be like, I just looked at you. Like, it can
Yeah.
happen. So
They can
and I'm
happen
not-
with the dude too.
That's
Like-
true.
Like it's sad. Like I don't, it's so crazy nowadays. Oh my god,
For, at any given moment.
they need to start spanking kids nowadays. They need to start spanking 20-year-olds out there. My mom's hearing me on here and seen this. I know she's watching. I'm gonna get spanked after this for drinking this and for saying swear words because I know my mom's watching this. I still
funny.
get the belt, dude. I'm 28 years old, man.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
My mom's got her back. She can't whip me with the belt anymore. It's awesome.
She pulls out a gun and do something. I got the belt, but I got the gun.
Nah,
How dare
my
you.
dad, I still got a really big dad. So he's always been 240 and above. So it's like, if I step out of line, it's like, all right, I gotta chill.
It's and I was talking to one of my coworkers at work. I'm like, dude, because we were watching Coach Carter, and like the part where one of the
saw that like 3 years ago. I love that.
Well, me too. And like, I don't really care for basketball, but like,
Really?
It's a great story, though.
But yeah, it is a great story.
Really?
But when the kid had quit, and then she
Basketball's
makes him come
boring.
back and apologize.
Yeah.
And he's like twice the size of her.
Basketball
And I'm
is
like, dude,
life.
your parents, your mom,
When you're
Yeah.
will
born.
always be the scariest person.
My dad was
in the
like
world,
that.
and the
My dad
threatens.
is like that.
Really?
Like, legitimately. He doesn't play like that. Like, he can be, honestly, my dad has even said it to me. He's like, look, I'm sorry. I'm kind of a prick. You know what I mean? Like, he calls himself that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, Dad, you're effing a-hole. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
My
he
dad's
does it to
awesome.
himself, and it's just like,
My
he's
dad's a
just like that.
colonel.
You got to own up.
My
And
dad's
military.
badass.
yeah. So,
That's
I learned how to respect.
that's insane. So you
Like at
so
a young age.
everybody's level of respect is different, though.
But it is, yeah, it's different. But my dad's a retired colonel in the military, so
Okay.
I would get the belt when I was a kid.
Me too.
And it was respect your elders and know who you're talking to, and
I was raised by
and
See,
that's
yeah.
that's how
what I'm
I
talking
that's where my mannerisms have come from. you
It's
know?
different. It's different because I'm married to a beautiful wife, and her brothers, the way they talk to their dad, it's hilarious. And they just feed off each other, just
Dude,
cussing at each other,
that's
and
me.
just making. It's hilarious. I'm like, when I first saw that, I was like,
I wish that
that's
was
me and
the way I
my
grew
brother
up,
with my.
though.
Well, we don't cuss
I
at my
wish
dad
that's the way I
because
grew
my
up,
mom
but
will
I
obviously
didn't.
get at
Yeah.
us. But we will talk so much shit to my dad, like it's hilarious. Me and my brother will, like, we'll just
yeah.
go at
No,
it
but
with
they
my
cuss
dad. and-
like they're all just you, and it was awesome. We fucking did blah blah blah. I was like, what? They were looking at me like I'm weird. Like all of them were just looking at me like I'm weird. I was like, dude, we don't do that.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, we don't do that at all. I was like,
He's
I don't
got
have
the-
that kind of relationship. I can't just go up to my dad and be like, Dad, how the fuck you been doing, bro? No.
He'd be like, "What?
Whap, bro.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
down, son.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why would you hit me?
Yeah, my dad is really that thing, like straight Puerto Rican.
You said shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, still, that's a bad word. You said the S word.
No te pongan con changuería. You know, like that kind of Puerto Rican. You know what I mean?
Very traditional.
Yes,
though.
yeah,
very
super traditional. And he's not even from
Respect
Puerto
your
Rico. He is Puerto
elders.
Rican. There's like he's not even from the island. Like, imagine if he was actually from the island. Like, oh man, forget it.
It'd be worse.
And I'm not trying to get
Yeah.
off topic, but there's a difference though, right? When like you and I were raised, like when we were raised, it was more like our parents are our parents. Nowadays, a lot of people raise their kids like their friends. And it's a little bit different. Like
My dad whipped my ass, and he's my best friend.
yeah. Well,
That's all I gotta say.
and there
Browner.
are
I love it.
sure there are hybrids out there, but for the most part, I've noticed that when I was growing up and I was raised, my parents were my mom and dad. I didn't go hang out with them. I don't go and hang out with my parents. I don't do that stuff. But yeah, but that's how they were raised. You know, I'm always going to be seen as a child to my parents. Like no matter how old I am, I'm their kid. Where nowadays, you know, I have friends who have children who are in junior high, some in high school, and you know, they are not only parents, but they are also friends to their children. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I don't have an opinion on that because I am a childless 34-year-old man. But I have noticed
I got
that,
two. You want one?
I got one. You can have him.
Yeah, yeah. Parenthood is awesome, but let me tell you something. Breaks. We need breaks.
Yeah. You know, and when you're raised in a traditional sense, like yourself, you know, especially like
dude.
Latin American countries, especially in Latin American countries, there is a certain level of respect that you give to your elders, and you know your place and whatnot. But I've noticed, especially here in the United States, you know, I've seen that as generations go, you notice that you're not just a parent anymore. You're like a friend, and you assimilate to certain types of things that your children do. Like, we're all engrossed in social media now, right? Like, when I grew up, my parents don't do social media. They're, like, in their 60s. Like, they don't do that stuff, you know? So, like, they don't see what I do for the most part. They do, like,
Yeah.
Instagram and stuff like that. But
Got some dial-up phones. Hell, I got three running apps right now for fight stuff. Like, that's
Yeah.
that's our social media.
but you're
That's
a dad,
insane.
and
That's crazy.
And how old are your kids?
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of some time.
Yeah,
I have some friends.
I don't want to give them phones or anything. Actually, they're better at YouTube than I am. Anytime I want to shut them up, I just give them my phone, and I shouldn't do that.
bro.
I know, but they are so much.
It's in their
that's how
DNA,
Oliver is,
bro.
dude.
It's weird.
I was gonna say your kid's what, 2, 3? He just turned 3.
Turned 3 yesterday.
And I'm still trying to figure out YouTube.
You give that kid like an.
But
like
even
an
so, even
iPod
yesterday while
or,
we're at his
or
birthday, like he
iPod.
just starts.
That's how old I am.
He's getting crazy. We're trying to play like cards and stuff with my brother and stuff, and he starts crying. He wants to sit in the front. And he's like asking my mom for her phone. She's like, grab my phone, and she's like, here, take it. I'm like, hey, go sit over there. Stop. And so he finally goes, sits over there, turns on the phone by himself.
Navigates it.
Goes to
Knows what show
YouTube, puts
he
on
wants.
Garfield. I'm like,
That's funny.
I'm like, what are you watching? He's like, I'm like, I don't know what that is. He's like,
Yeah, my
and then
kid's
Rena
into
lifts over.
Blippi
He's like,
now.
it's Garfield. I'm like, oh, it's Garfield. Garfield. He's like, I'm like, shut up.
And my
Shut
kid's into
up.
Blippi. It's this weird dude with
It's in our
colorful
DNA, man.
Yeah, It's hilarious, man.
Kids are insane, and I want to fight every single one of them.
I
don't
know,
even
right?
care.
I'm trying to get them like it's funny because I have my daughter. Like sometimes I put her on YouTube on our TV for girls wrestling and then fights. So when they were younger, they got into fights. But
Yeah.
then my daughter's right now the only one that like really pays attention to it with me during the fights.
Question.
So that's kind of cool. My son, not so much.
Well, that's cool.
Back and
She's
forth.
gonna know who Conor McGregor is by the time she's freaking 5. Conor McGregor's a freaking legend.
You know what they should do? You know what they should do is they should introduce like MMA or boxing into elementary, junior high, and like high school athletics.
They have actually.
That's
They
Like they have clubs and stuff, but they should make it varsity
Sidekicks.
sports.
I used to be a part of Sidekicks,
Yes.
and they actually had that back in the day for an elementary school, like somewhere off of Middleton, and it was cool. Like it was one day a week, and it was for all the kids who really, really wanted to do something like that, and it was super cheap. It was like $5 for one day a week, and
But they shouldn't
Sidekicks
have
would come
to.
up.
They shouldn't have to pay for it, man.
But
because
it's,
like
it's
I
private,
didn't have to.
It's
I-
private schools, though,
Oh,
coming through.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You know,
I was thinking
what-
like the public education. Like you're playing basketball, you have your general
My
eds,
school
right?
didn't even have football.
And like basketball,
Yeah.
like in elementary school, you got your
How you
basketball,
gonna
track and
ensure that, though,
field.
bro? It's because any way you look at
Yeah.
it, it's combat.
Parents sign off, dog. And like the state insurance will
It's-
pay
it's-
for it.
Parents
it's a different
nowadays
kind of
are
waiver,
so
though.
wild.
it's just like football.
I pay for that insurance, and I don't even have any kids.
But yeah, but wait till you have kids, because now that I have kids and
I'll sign off on that
I
shit.
absolutely don't want to sign off on like it's combat sports. Me doing it for dude, I did it for over a decade. I was lucky enough to be paid for it. I'll pay my rent off of it. And now that I have kids, like I don't want them in a public school trying to learn what they can learn from either dad or a legitimate martial
I agree.
arts
That's what I
school.
said.
But you know what though? I can teach my kid how to catch a football. I can teach my kid how to hit a ball off a bat. I can teach my kid how to catch a ball.
And you could teach your
or
kid how
throw
to
a ball.
punch, but you can't teach him how to throw like.
How you gonna show them self-restraint? Because in
Yeah.
football, you're supposed to be aggressive, even as a little kid.
I played football through college, man.
Yeah.
5 years in college, dude.
And you
You're
gotta
talking
be-
to somebody who knows. I was a headhunter.
Yeah.
But I was also raised a certain way, and I would expect somebody like other parents to take responsibility if their kid gets out of control, or if their kid realizes they're not made out of glass, or if they think they're made out of glass. You know what? Let that kid figure it out, because real life, in my opinion, is gonna hit you really fucking hard as soon as you get out of those extracurricular activities. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And
But
like,
that's the thing; these parents don't see it like that.
It's weird.
Football's
It-
aggressive, man.
Yeah.
Like
it switches everything. And for me, now as a parent, like as aggressive as football is, I still want my kid in it. Or
too.
my
but I'd
wife is
rather
all
have
about
my
lacrosse.
I'd rather have my kid playing, and lacrosse is just as aggressive.
Yeah.
You can take hits within a certain amount of fieldage.
Yep.
You
or
know,
rugby. She
or
wants that because
rugby.
it's funny. My wife, not even a big fan of football.
I'd rather rugby than football, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
rugby players are something else, man.
Well, the only reason
Rugby players
why
are
is
tough as
because
hell.
Fuck
They're
Yeah, they're
big-
actually closer to an MMA fighter than a football
Oh
player
yeah,
would be.
because they have no pads, nothing.
Yeah.
Probably
No
a
pads.
jock strap.
It's-
That's about it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because you see
cup,
like
just
you
like-
see a big football player. That dude's running around at 350, 320, something like that, right?
Then you get
But
hit
he's
by
got a
him like
helmet
my
and
size.
he's got pads, dude.
and he's going at you full bore, right? And then you stop for a little bit. But a rugby player, a big rugby player, what is it, like 230,
They're huge.
maybe 240?
That's a big rugby player. too.
That's really big. Or
That's
you know,
big.
going down all the way, even the 190 guys. But it's constant. It's
Oh,
continuous.
yeah.
It's like that strength endurance. That's
It's
why
like
I think.
soccer, but with football.
Yeah.
So you're constant. There's no place like
That's why I think it's closer to MMA than
we're gonna put our arms around each other. Back,
Yeah.
back. You know,
Football,
so it's just
football's
crazy.
football's in a whole nother
I would
genre.
be screaming the whole entire time
I would
for no reason.
I would relate football. I would relate football to boxing, and I would relate rugby to MMA. And the only reason why is because you have a certain type of padding, and you take way more hits, way more aggressive hits in football, knowing that you have a helmet and pads and stuff like that. Which, in my opinion, I'm somebody who suffers from CTE, and I highly recommend that people who put their kids in compact sports or contact sports, that they recognize the fact that if you get hit really fucking hard with a straight fist and you get knocked out once, it's a lot better on your brain than taking 100, 200 punches to the brain and continuously bruising your brain over many years.
Yeah.
And this is an argument that can be taken up by a lot of different people, but by everybody. And
Yeah.
I boxed for 12 years, man. I've competed out of multiple clubs. Like, I've had a lot of different fights,
And yet we still do it.
Yeah,
Still do it. We
still
freaking
do it.
love it, dude.
we do it.
We love violence. That's
Just
just
like
the way it goes.
Cowboy was saying the same thing in the whole press conference thing, dude. He was just like, dude, he's like, why do we keep doing it?
It's
We're
a personality,
old.
bro.
He's like, we're the dying
dying
era
breed, bro.
of
Fighters.
this fight game right now.
dying
and he's like,
breed.
and guess what?
Yeah.
We love to fucking bang, dude. We'd love to come
there's
out and start.
fighters, and then there's the athletes that fight.
Yeah, like
That's
it's
a huge difference. Like, I'm a fighter. Like, I'm not an athlete. Like, I'll go play football with you, and I'm probably gonna be good for like 10 minutes. That's about it. But you want to fight? I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down. You know what I mean? Like,
And you got
we can
three
scrap right now.
and you got
And
three
I'm-
3-minute rounds.
Yeah,
You
and
got
I'm not
9
because I know
minutes
my
of
cardio
just-
isn't in there, so I'm just like, I'm not there to last. I'm there to like take you out.
So
as fast
so
as possible.
what? So okay. So your whole pick is Connor.
Connor overall.
So
I think
Connor. So you got
Yeah.
Connor, right?
Connor
So what's
overall.
your pick?
I've got
right now?
Cerrone, dude. Sorry.
I don't know. It just depends. I feel like Connor's kind of been out for a while, so I don't know how. I mean, I know he's been training because that's his life, but Cowboys. I have Cowboy just because he's hungry, and he's just constant with it. But at the same time, I've seen Cowboy be fighting and come out so bad. Like that time we thought he was gonna whip ass, and he came out.
Justin Gaeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they say who's going to come out. Is it going to be Cowboy? Is it going to be Donald? There's two different fighters.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Isn't that weird?
That's so weird. Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Same dude,
which
but-
is
It's
really
crazy
weird.
because
Really weird. Yeah,
We were literally talking about this earlier today because
he's either going to be aggressive or he's going to sit back and wait for something,
Yeah.
and he's going to go into his jiu-jitsu game.
I want to know. He says he's going to stand. I know he's going to stand because that's what they do. They're going to put on a great show. Will he go to the ground, though?
we talked about that in the press conference,
I don't
too.
know who to. I don't even have
I
my
think he
decision
will.
set yet.
I honestly think he will. He will see an opportunity because if Connor is so focused, unless, you know what?
On
What if
power.
Connor actually decides to stand, and try and take him? Because we don't actually know
What he's been
because
doing.
they're
Yeah.
always giving Connor shit about his ground, his cardio. It's like,
Yep.
dude, he throws it 100% the entire time. That's why he's. I guess if he threw like all the other guys, he would last for 10 rounds. But that's
Exactly.
not the case. He's throwing it 100%. Why do you think he's got so many knockdowns and knockouts? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just you go 100% the entire time. Man, my truck gets decent gas mileage, but if I went 100 miles an hour everywhere, I'm gonna get 3.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. You got to fill up again. Well, no shit.
See, that's my thing is I can't pick one of them because they're both in my top 5.
That's kind of
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're both in my top 5.
Donald in my top 10.
Every time I see,
He's
so
in my top
my number
5.
1 is Max. I love Max Holloway.
Really?
I love Max Holloway,
too.
dude. I love Max Holloway.
Ace,
Max Holloway.
Rich Ace Franklin.
But this is how I felt about
Yes.
Mas Vidal
Rich
and
Ace Franklin
Nate.
against Chuck Liddell.
Yes,
That
was awesome.
That was
But,
an
like,
upset. You remember seeing that on the
Yeah.
it was the ESPN Plus thing where they had the 40-40 or whatever
Yeah.
that show, and they had Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz, the whole
The
rivalry.
history
you know.
behind it.
Which
And
one? Didn't they
old
fight like
school
3
UFC.
No,
times?
it shows
Yes.
it all. It shows their
Okay,
whole
okay.
history.
Yeah, and so it shows their whole background, like their whole like, oh my god, like these guys were best friends at one point. They were training
Yeah.
partners. They were in each other's
They even
corners
bring
during
Dana
fights.
into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when Dana and Tito Ortiz were talking shit to each other or whatever, and then Tito Ortiz backed out because he had some stupid ass injury.
His
Yeah.
back
All
injury.
time.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Got
hurt
like
my
10 back
back. I
surgeries.
hurt
It's
my
crazy.
back.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's all the same. That to me, it was got to be Rich Franklin, GSP, Conor McGregor for sure, and I'm pretty sure I get a top 10 going. But those for sure. Those are my top
your
4.
top 5. So who's your number 5 then?
Number 5,
Ah, don't.
honestly, Matt Hughes,
Matt Hughes.
the most dominant welterweight. The most dominant welterweight
Dude,
until
Matt Hughes was legit.
Marina's like, I only have top 3.
We're talking, dude. You're
No,
talking
I'm like,
old
no.
school.
yeah.
bro.
Well, dude, I was
okay.
in this game for like 15 years, bro. I am old school.
Yeah.
Tim,
I
do you
was-
have a top 5?
I first started this game when it was like
I'm-
21 years old.
I grew up boxing, and I grew up in the boxing scene. But as far as UFC goes, Matt Hughes,
Yep.
definitely. Sylvia.
Which one?
Wait.
Oh,
Sylvia or Silva? You know how many? There's a lot of them.
Silva.
There's so many of them.
Silva.
Which one?
The spider.
There's-
The spider.
Okay. There we go.
I like Silva too.
But I'm not the biggest. Like, I was never into like UFC or MMA in general.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I grew up I grew up using both, just my hands. I just boxed all the time.
Colton
So I mean, if
Vaughn.
we're talking
Yeah.
like boxing,
Colton Vaughn
yeah.
called Conor McGregor.
Smart
Yeah,
man.
Conor
Smart man.
McGregor, like,
And quick shout out to
top
Colton.
5.
Actually, I love that dude. I got him into MMA. It was awesome. He did so well. Got to go on.
He's gonna be on my show. We've already talked about it.
Yes.
He's got
good.
his own.
Let's get more-
jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
gym.
Kaimano.
Well,
Right.
and
Kaimano Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, it'll be us 3 on the show. So
I
gonna be dope.
also produce the Free Roll podcast,
yeah.
and I think you two should collaborate. Let me make sure my mic's on. Yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Well, I mean, you can hear me, but the people, I can mute myself on the outside, and you can hear me. But like, I do the Free Roll podcast, and I think it would be really fun to collaborate between you and Free Roll podcast, and you guys could bring in other athletes or whoever, and you guys could. What we could do is we could pay-per-view something, and we could watch it, and you guys could talk about stuff. You guys could do all kinds of shit here.
We ain't gonna talk. We just gonna talk shit.
Yeah. But like,
Literally.
it would
We should be analysts, but no, we're just no. He did it wrong. I would have done this. I'm gonna be that guy.
what?
I would have done that.
I would have done this.
But as
No,
far
you
as
wouldn't. I know how you fight. You would have lost. Shut up.
But as far as networking goes, like, it'd be cool to have you with my Free Roll podcast host, who's Cam. He's my boxing coach, and it would be fun to have you guys sit down and collaborate and do like a joint show. Just because, you know, it's the same content, and I think that the both of you can really align on a lot of the similar types of things as far as like fighting and up and coming fights. He's more like BJJ and boxing, and you're more MMA, but it would be really fun to have the both of you come in and talk about both sides and meet in the middle. And we'd always do like follow-up stuff, and you know, obviously that would be something that I would.
For everybody who's watching, by the
I would
way,
look
if
forward
you guys
to,
want to
guys.
comment real quick on who do you guys got, give us a little bit of
Yes.
feedback on
Do
what's
it.
going on, especially with the rest of the card, because I know that we've been stuck on Conor McGregor.
Oh, okay.
But we do have
Holly
the rest of the
Holm.
card.
One person that I want to know if you know about, which I'm sure you do, Macy Barber.
Dude,
girl.
I don't know that guy.
she
That's my
is so
That's my
beatable.
girl.
beatable.
I know she's so beatable, but okay, that obviously puts your opinion out.
No,
Really?
no, like she's super tough. The one thing about her is
she hot, though?
Well, not really. Like she's kind
they're
of
not
cute,
fun to
but
look
like
at.
not really. But she's
not
really
really.
fun to really fun to
She's a
watch
good
because
fighter.
she comes
she's
to
young.
finish your fight. Like comes to finish the fight. No
she's
doubt about it.
She's not there to wait till the fucking decision. No, she's
No.
there to finish it.
She wants to
Either
finish the fight.
you're gonna knock her out or she's gonna knock
I'm
you
the
out,
one
submit
who-
you.
I
yeah,
showed-
Marina's the one who actually showed me who she was, and I was just like, okay, who's Macy Barber? She's
Very
like,
nice.
wait. She's like, well, you need to see this girl fight, and I'm like,
Let me
okay,
look this
well, let
chick
me
up real
let me see who she is, and so I looked up her fight. I'm like, wow, I'm a fan. Like,
I'm a big
oh
fan.
my god,
She is-
legitimate.
She's
Macy
young.
Barber?
she's
Yeah.
fighting on the card. Which she's fighting against Roxy, who was a Ultimate Fighter contender.
Yeah,
And
Who
she
is
looks
a straight veteran.
Oh yeah,
back in
and
the
she
day.
looks nerdy. Like if you
she,
ever
well,
see
she
her-
is nerdy. She's not looks like she like is nerdy.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a nerd's nerd.
Such a nerd, and she wears these huge ass like old like 70s glasses,
Yeah.
and she like walks around. She's like
She came out
always
with
smiling, and
she
she's,
came out with the Super Saiyan.
yes,
Oh my gosh, the
dude,
Which is
oh,
funny,
wig.
but
no, and she
Yeah.
does. She's super nerdy, super. And so you would see this girl on the street, you'd be like, oh my god, I'm like anybody, Marina.
Yeah.
Marina knows how to throw a punch, and I'd beat that girl's ass. But
nicest
literally,
warrior.
you would see, and then she'd fucking unleash on you, and you'd be like, oh my, what?
which is I think is hilarious.
What
but
happened? What,
She
like,
doesn't
what-
even have
can't
like
judge
a
a book
best
by
of.
its
She has
cover.
no best ofs out
No,
here.
just
No,
the Macy Barber,
she's new.
new.
She's probably had what
Two
4?
fights.
She's
No,
Two
3.
UFC.
Is
Three.
it 2?
I think
3 or
I've seen-
2.
But you think she'd have like
I've seen 2.
more fights like before
Oh
that?
no, she's had 3 then.
you gotta
I
go to
used to
YouTube,
s-
bro. Gotta go to YouTube for that.
Well, I'm on fucking
No,
Google,
but she's
and that
like-
owns YouTube.
She fights. She's from Denver. Like she is young,
But
and
she
like you
trains-
can tell she's young, but she's a badass. I think
Hold
she's
on.
what
Macy,
22?
what again?
22.
What's
She
her name?
trains with-
Macy Barber.
She trains with
Barber, best
Anthony
of.
Pettis and all those guys.
She's tough, and I just like the way she carries herself.
She
She's
trains
not
with
afraid.
Tyrone Woodley,
she ain't
all those
afraid
guys.
of
Duke
anybody.
Rufus out there
Yes,
in Wisconsin.
Rufus. Yes, thank you. I was trying to
Rufus
think.
Sport.
I was gonna say something else. I don't know what I was gonna say. I knew it
I don't
started with
know.
R.
Either way, to be honest with you, did you see the betting odds on that? I totally wanted to put down $50 on Roxanne, even though I know she's in because like if you put it down $100, I think the betting odds was you can win $657.
I'll bet you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, I'll take half if Roxanne can pull it off for $50.
I put my money
honest-
on Macy Barber.
I know Macy Barber's the shit, but so is Roxy.
I put my money.
Roxy
She
is awesome.
is a
She's not-
stud.
Yeah, for sure. She was a bit when she was in the
I
Ultimate
think she's
Fighter.
a
She
under-
was like,
Oh, she was an underdog from the get go.
yeah, but she was one of every one of those females. Like they already knew who she was. It's one thing.
Which
I
is
tell you
crazy.
something in the fight game. To like a lot of people just like, oh, do you know him? Do you know him? Do you know him? So all the fans are just like, okay, well, I don't know him, so he must not be anything. But if the fighters know that fighter, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Your credibility is that much more.
So real quick, we got one from Aiden Ortega. He's saying Cowboy is on his way out, getting his payday and going into retirement. Connor needs, what do you say? Connor needs this fight more to stay relevant title wise. Connor wins by decision.
okay, he's out of so 33. He gave us 3 different deals, right? So 33% on each one. I agree with one of what he said.
I think
Cowboy's
Connor
on his
does
way
need
out.
to win this.
I don't think it goes to decision. It's not going to decision.
If it goes to decision, I can still see Connor
Cowboy.
pulling it off.
Really?
I can see it.
I think if it goes to
probably
decision,
won't happen.
Cowboy.
It probably won't happen.
I-
But everybody said, well, hang on. Everybody said that if it goes to decision, it's Cowboy, right? But hello, if he wins the first 3 rounds, he wins the fight.
Yep.
He doesn't
Yep,
have
yep,
to
yep,
finish
yep,
him
yep.
in the first 3. He
Yep.
just has to win the first 3. And
Exactly.
survive the next 2. Actually, not survive. Just do enough to not get a 10-8 round.
Exactly.
So, and the fact that Cowboy's on his way out, hell no.
No.
Not even close.
That's what everybody keeps saying about him.
He will
is
fight. He's that kind of guy that wants to fight until he's 45.
He's always gonna fight.
Till
He's gonna be.
60.
He's gonna be there all the time. He's gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh, he's gonna
a
be.
60-year-old. I gotta just wheel myself
Dana,
down, but I can fight. Like,
put me
what's
in.
wrong with you? Yeah, put me in, coach.
Even though I gotta roll the only reason why I'm rolling myself down here is because I just got off a fucking bull.
Yeah. Yeah, and he lives
that's-
a lifestyle that we all wish we did.
No,
you know?
he even said
Yeah.
like he said on his on Embedded, he is like, my way of relaxing is going like skydiving and shit. And he was like, now that I have a kid, we're at the aquarium. In Vegas.
He's like, this is what happens.
But normally when I'm not training and I'm supposed to relax, I go skydiving or ride my motor. Like, he does badass shit.
But he's got his kid strapped on his back, still doing this normal. And here's the thing.
Danger.
He's
so
got.
cute.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I love that name.
I love it.
That is a dope name, dude.
No doubt. It's adorable.
And so is Rush.
I think the.
I
Rush,
that
Max
name,
Holloway's
too.
kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are
Mini Blast.
They are the duo, bro.
Yes, that's awesome. And
Okay,
you know what I
keep
think?
going. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. I think it's hilarious because, like, okay, so we all wish we kind of lived this crazy rock star life, right? Well, he actually gets to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Well, I wish I can do more snowboarding. I wish I can do more fun-filled stuff like, skydiving. Oh, wait a minute. He can do that at all times because he has a bunch of money. Well, I wish I had a bunch of land and so I can build stuff. Oh, shit. He did that.
He did that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
He
he's
sponsors fighters
constantly
now.
Hold
His
on.
own fight gym.
Real quick, guys.
His own fight
This
gym.
episode is brought to you by Proper. It's not brought to you by
It's not brought to you. What's wrong with you,
I
bro?
wish it was. Okay, Connor, come on. Sponsor the damn show. I'm talking about you, man. I
Not
don't
a
even know who I'm
sponsor.
going to pick yet.
But we will
still.
You got to, like,
Right
rotate
now.
the bottle
Oh.
so people see it, bro.
I don't want him to see them to see it because Connor
might
hasn't
think
fully
it's
sponsored me.
Jameson.
I'm going to do 1/3 of it because that's how much he sponsors
All
me.
right.
He don't really sponsor me, but still.
Not
Okay.
a sponsor.
Hey,
but
Connor,
we
we're
will,
friends. Remember me in high
We
school
will
when we used to hang
gladly
out?
Get outta here.
entertain them.
When I used to
Yeah,
hang
because
out
you
with
look
in high
Irish.
Send us a number.
Who the fuck are you?
no,
fuck is that guy?
Who the fook?
Who the fuck
Yeah,
are
that's
you?
right. That's right.
Fook
Isn't
are
that
you?
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah.
Who was he telling that to again?
Jeremy Stevens. The
I
heathen.
met.
Who
Okay,
the
hold on.
fuck are
Hold
you?
on. I have a story about Jeremy Stevens. Okay,
I have a story
this
about
is
Jeremy
this is
Stevens.
hilarious.
I want to hear hers. Is yours
It's
sexual?
the same story as about
Is mine
me.
sexual?
Yeah, because that's what most girls would be
Same.
like. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, me and Jeremy Stevens got down.
And
Oh
then
my
Wait,
you were
time out. Hold on. Shut up.
We didn't.
Damn. Anyway,
Almost.
so
Get it, girl.
no, this is
We
real.
met him
This
at
is
the same time.
no, yeah. So this
Enjoy
is
your
the story.
life.
So when UFC first came to Boise, okay, his boy fought Chad Mendes.
Yeah.
And he got knocked out by Chad Mendes that night, right? Okay, here we go. We're at Amsterdam, the bar in Boise.
Sam's black.
I'm not blacked out yet. I was
Yet.
drinking.
You'll listen. You'll know.
Okay,
He's
well, can I
browned
tell the
out.
damn story first, y'all?
Out.
Anyway, so I'm getting there, right?
Browned
So
out.
I'm going up to him. I was like, oh my god, dude,
Brown
that's
sugar.
Chad Mendes. I want to go take a picture with him. Like, this is awesome. I'm so excited. So I walk up to him like, hey, Chad, can I get a picture with you? It's Jeremy Stevens. With his teammate who Chad Mendes just knocked out. I have the picture, and so I wish I could show you guys right now. But so I get in there, and I'm like, oh yeah, so I'm drunk. I'm trying to get the phone working, and so I'm like, oh my god, here we go. I'm about to get this picture, and he's like, bro, just take the damn picture already. Jeremy Stevens gets mad at me. He was like, you're an asshole. I don't like you, and I walked away.
We
Took
went-
the picture.
Pettis.
I took
He's
the
right,
picture.
though.
So then I go over and I see Sergio Pettis, Anthony Pettis' brother, little brother.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, dude,
That was
I
his
like you.
cousin.
Like, no, it's Sergio Pettis. It's his little brother.
Good brother.
And so I have a picture with him. You have him with him too, and you
I
look drunk
know.
as hell. So anyway, so then I get there and I'm like, oh my god, dude, like I'm a fan of you and your brother. Like you guys are awesome. Like, can I get a picture with you? So Marine takes a picture of us. I'm like, I just met freaking Jeremy Stevens, but I call him Chad Mendes. He's like, yeah, Jeremy Stevens is a bitch. Who cares? Calls him out. We're not too far away. Says it out loud like that. Jeremy Stevens kind of turns around, doesn't say nothing to Sergio.
We just hung out with
Nothing.
him for like.
And we hung out with Sergio. Nicest guy in the world. Coolest dude ever.
Oh, well, I thought I was, but thanks.
you come second.
But I'm not contracted with the UFC, so I understand. No, I understand. Like,
it was so cool though.
it's always nice to.
Yeah.
I've gotten to meet a lot of them.
I've
Especially,
met Misha Tate twice, and I hung out with Misha Tate the last time, and we actually, me and my buddy Tim, we actually sat there and had drinks with her and Johnny Nunez and
Not
then their
me.
coach Nate,
Not me though.
and we. Were
I used to train with Johnny.
Not
He's a good guy.
My boy
Oh, he's
Tim
super,
Cameron.
super cool.
My boy.
But yeah,
ain't
we
that
hung out with
gangster.
Misha
He's
Tate
listen, twin.
at Amsterdam, and she bought us a shot with her coach Nate. You know Nate. I don't know if do you know Nate?
Nate
Her
Bennett?
coach. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Oh,
we
he used to be my old coach. Yeah,
Damn. Okay. So
bro, I've
he
been
was
in
there.
the game a long time.
Well, it was fun.
time.
Like it was so cool, and like they were like sitting there like I was having a full on conversation. She was drunk as hell, but I knew she thought that like I was beautiful. She at one point she said, you look like Dwayne the Rock Johnson," And I said, okay.
You do.
I do. See? Told you. I say that all the time.
You don't.
Watch this.
Don't.
Watch
You
this.
really don't.
Watch this.
No,
No,
you got no. Stop.
No, you
Watch
really
this.
don't.
The random laughing.
What the Sam is cooking.
Oh my God! Stop.
See, I told you.
Stop.
I'm almost there. I'm
You
about
need
the
another
same.
drink, dog.
I'm not the same height as him. I'm the same.
You are about the same height as this class.
I need
Okay,
So-
time out. I'm not sure I'm height challenged. Now stop high fiving. That makes him think it's okay. If you guys are listening to this, I'm not sure I'm height challenged. First off, I'm about 6'1" on a good day. But anyway,
As he stands on a chair.
I'm all wearing high heels. Yeah. Hey, bro, you wearing high heels? No, they're not high heels.
Dude, how many UFC stars have you met? Because I've met, dude, in my time.
I
Wow.
actually-
Okay, so
It's not
first
bad.
off, just
don't
by
even-
meeting,
I don't even wanna know.
I've gotten to fight 4 of them.
I'm a Jameson girl.
I was already
So
drunk before
fought
I
4 of them.
drank it,
I've gotten to
so-
hang out with a bunch of
tastes
them.
great.
Kevin Randleman, who is the late Randleman.
can't taste it.
Damn, Granny Couture, Matt Linlin, Ricardo Lamas, who's currently in there right now.
Ricardo
I got to
Lamas.
fight. Shamar Bailey, Brandon Melendez, like Casey Uscola.
Okay, Casey Scola. I met Casey Scola.
Yes. Dude, I've met so many of them. They're all TJ Dillashaw, actually, before he was a champ.
I hate
like
TJ
TJ
Dillashaw.
Dude, he is that thin. He is seriously that thin.
He's tiny.
He's
okay,
like this
so
thin.
so remember when Frankie Edgar had his tournament
I think
here,
he's a
his
bitch.
grappling tournament for when
Hope
they
he
had the
hears that.
bodybuilding expo, when they had all those guys here all the time. I grappled him to that tournament. I met him. I was taller than Frank Edgar, which is awesome.
Which is
because,
like,
man,
that
what's
means I'm
up,
taller
bro?
than Frankie Edgar.
But no, I met Frank Edgar. I met Michael Bisping. I've
That's my
met
Was it Clay Guida that was here at the time?
yeah.
oh, Clay Guido. Thank you.
He
Thank you.
He can
He was
kiss my ass.
Thank you. That's what I told her. When I went to go get his autograph, he was just like this the whole time. All he put was CG on my paper. I'm like, really? Bro? Write your whole damn name. Put your whole name. That's on
I'll
your
take
birth
some initials
certificate.
too, but I was like, I'm good. Like I was kind of talking like, You know who's phenomenal? Brian Stan.
Oh, the All-American. He
dude.
was there too. I have all the autographs on the pit on like these things I showed them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Top 10. He's in my top 10, 100%.
I am bummed that he's done.
I am too.
I know that
there are a lot
I
of
know
guys like that.
But because he knew that, yes, he was an awesome fighter. He was an amazing fighter. He would throw He was a ranger.
Yep.
And that's why Chris Weidman was like, dude, I don't know if I could take the All-American name because it's Chris All-American Weidman,
Yeah.
but he's not. He wasn't involved in the whole military, nothing.
Yeah.
So he was like, I don't know if I could take that name because Brian Stan was an actual ranger. He was an actual black
Yeah.
ops.
Brian Stan is phenomenal, dude.
And
He is
he
a
would
crazy
leave
dude.
overseas while fighting in the UFC. And so he was an amazing guy. Super nice dude. And
Super nice. And like
humble
very-
as hell.
Yeah. When I saw him, hell, it was me and the Team No Excuse guys that went
I
over
saw
there.
that. I was pissed. I
It was
told her
so
that.
crazy. It was so crazy. And you know who also reminds me of him? Tim Kennedy. I love following Tim Kennedy, dude. Like the
Tim
dude,
Kennedy
he's a
is amazing.
badass. Like legitimately through and what he does is a sheepdog response.
Why the
So-
UFC cut them? I have no idea.
They didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they did not. They
I
stopped fighting.
heard Tim Kennedy got cut because he
No,
he
he
wouldn't
left. He
fight.
left on his own,
He
bro.
wouldn't fight enough or whatever.
No, he left on his own. He retired on his own.
That's shitty. Then why would they even put that about him then?
Sam's all mad now.
Yeah, I am pissed. No, because Tim Kennedy was a G. He was
Yes.
awesome.
Amazing fighter.
was awesome to
No
watch.
doubt about it. I think it was more so that they had other different things because at the time he had a TV show that he was hosting. He also has a sheepdog response, where he teaches a lot of tactical classes. He was still currently in the military. Like he had a lot of stuff going on, and fighting is legit. But let's be honest, even if you're in the top 10, it doesn't pay what boxing does.
Yep.
So you're making maybe $80,000 if you win. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you're really, really, really popular, which he's really popular amongst the fighters.
That's crazy how.
But not
How
amongst
many
the
fights are
fans.
you gonna
Fans.
take? You take 3 fights a year at 80K, you're still making good fucking money. You're
Yep.
making 24K. Or
Well, it depends. Are you
240K a
working
year.
while you're doing it or not?
Yeah, true.
And that's
because,
if you
know,
got you. It's in
But-
increments. You don't make $80K per fight. That's if you win. You got to remember that you're guaranteed your show money.
So Colin said that Tim left due to money.
There you go.
So he wasn't making. Yeah, he wasn't making the money.
And Conor McGregor said this: show money plus after taxes ain't a lot of money.
But back then, the UFC fucks people. By the way.
That's what I'm saying. Back then, they weren't as ballsy
as
the fighters nowadays, where they're like, "Oh God, like fucking pay me $1 million." I'm not. Nate Diaz, for instance,
it's a little different.
Think about like boxing, right? We were talking about boxing earlier, and like
boxing's been around for 500 years though.
Oh, dude, boxing's been around for thousands of years.
Yeah,
man.
like
they were somehow melting rocks around their
heads.
Yeah,
it's different. It'll never go away. Everybody thinks it's a dying sport. I'm like, you're dumb.
No.
You really
Tyson
need to fight.
Fury.
Yeah, dying fans.
What are you gonna do with that guy?
Straight dad bod. He's the Fedor of boxing.
Fury.
Dude, heavy hands.
Tyson Fury is legit, and there is a resurgence. I don't want to like divert the topic to boxing because we are talking about UFC, but there is a resurgence in boxing right now, and Deontay Wilder, Triple G,
Deontay Wilder's a G,
Lomachenko. There are so many amazing boxers right now who are revitalizing the entire sport. Like, boxing is absolutely incredible right now. It's like the early 90s, in my opinion. We're, like, reaching back to the early 90s when we had, like, the Mike Tysons, and then we had Leon Spinks, and we had, you know, those types of fighters. That's how I feel. You know, like, right now, the Deontay Wilder and, like, Tyson Fury... And we've got Josh. Why the fuck do I not know his name? Josh. Joshua. Whatever. The dude who took out the Klitschko bro. Long story short,
Deontay Wilder.
No, Wilder didn't take out Klitschko. It was Joshua.
Gotcha.
Joshua. Why the English guy? Long story short.
To Zach Davis Livingston, he's also got Cowboy. That's my brother-in-law. You suck.
But
by the way.
Long story short, boxing is on a resurgence because there are people. Unfortunately, the last 10 years, Pacquiao and Mayweather couldn't carry it because they were only in one, like basically like 3 weight classes. Floyd Mayweather, it was a bitch, and he wouldn't move up or move down. He just kind of stuck in his class. But now, when you're talking heavyweights, Deontay Wilder is really exciting.
He is a stud. So Deontay Wilder,
he's crazy.
Deontay Wilder is actually going to be fighting Fury again for the second time.
And
Crazy.
that was honestly one of the best fights last year.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that fight was incredible. When like Tyson went down in the 9th round last year,
it ended in a draw.
And I had Tyson the entire fight because he's a little more sound. He's not as erratic as Wilder. But when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh, Tyson's gonna win on the cards," and that's what I had called it. I said, "Tyson's gonna win on the cards." He goes down in the 9th round, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And then he stands up, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible!" Like this dude just got up from one of the craziest fights. But and I'm not trying to like detract from the MMA world, but at the same time, they interlope, right? Like boxing,
mixed martial arts,
boxing and MMA, they definitely interlope. And
well, it's just like what they talked about they're gonna do this year in 2020. Dana White's trying to.
He's trying to promote boxing.
He's trying to promote boxing, which is crazy to me. But he just wants
more money.
That's
what she's gonna.
Mo money,
What do you do for a living? Are you a construction? Yeah. Okay, you're in construction, right? So
my stripper name is Brown Sugar. I told you that.
Okay, Brown Sugar. Hey, listen, Brown Sugar. If they paid you $5 more an hour, would you still do the job with glee? Hell yes, you would.
Yeah.
Hell yes, you would. More money.
I'm not in construction though.
I am.
I'm a loader operator. I just put cars on top of big ass semi trucks.
How about you drive some big shit?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
that's
and I love your photos, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I do it myself.
I know you do.
I set my timer on my iWatch. I'm like, hold on, Siri.
Tell me.
Hold on, don't count down yet, Siri.
Okay,
I
Siri.
haven't posed yet. And I'm
Okay,
like,
Siri, tell me when. Tell
I
me
wait
to
like
take
this.
a photo at 8 a.m.
I wait like this.
No,
Hang on,
for
you know what? I
Rosa,
do got to
you
give
do
it
drive
before
some
we
cool
continue
fucking
with the
cats.
fight talk. I got to give a quick shout out to a badass group. You are now a part of it. Congratulations, sir. It is MTFU. It stands for Man the Fuck Up. We are part of the Treasure Valley. It is an awesome initiative. Seriously, we don't pay dues, but we have to pay out of pocket basically to do a lot of cool shit around the valley. So we're constantly helping people, constantly helping our brothers that need help with anything like paying for rent, helping mothers that that can't afford Christmas gifts. Like, it's a legitimate initiative that's
awesome, man.
all we do is good shit.
Yep.
I'm super happy to be part of it. I'm going
love
live
that.
right now. So to Antonio Buy Candy, one of the reps for that, I'm really happy. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
And then it's awesome because you're now a part of the group, which is the shit. So, and you get to see, you're going to read through all the posts.
Yes.
And so tomorrow I get to have a party for the UFC stuff, and a few brothers are coming in. And
I actually got to read some of that stuff, man, that a lot of people post, and it's really cool because a lot of the guys, they look out for each other. They really they really give I would say really good feedback to each other. They're just like, it's just a lot. Yeah, they're very supportive, and they look out for each other. They're great people. I just look out there, and I've never actually been a part of something like that, so it's kind of cool.
Men supporting men. It's a movement. I love it.
Yeah, and when you told me about it, you sent me that message.
Pretty
Like, wow, dude,
comforting.
that honestly makes me feel good. That's cool. Like, I'm excited.
like
for that.
I said, you're the
it's
first
cool.
person I invited. I'll invite eventually
So
a few more people, eventually, maybe. But
Yeah.
I think it's a shit because I've been on other groups, and let me tell you something. It's a bunch of dudes, honestly. They're like, oh, man, super dads. Like, no, you guys can kiss my ass. You guys are boys. All you do is talk shit on your wives, talk shit on your girlfriends. Hey, fellas, I'm going through this divorce, blah, blah, blah. I did this, I cheated, but how do I keep her? Like, kiss my ass. You don't deserve to keep her.
No.
You don't deserve to be breathing air as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So it's just like, no, I'm good. I'm super happy where I'm at with the group. We do a lot of cool shit. We get to talk shit. We get to, drink beer.
Yep.
Get together. We talk fights just like what me and you are doing right now.
That's dope, man. I actually enjoy it. Maybe this is one of the reasons why I started the podcast is because no one can ever shut me up. Obviously, when I trained, I was not talking.
That's true at first. You
Glad I
don't
get
do it
knocked
anymore
out.
because I knocked that bad habit out of you real quick.
Yes, that's true.
I don't. Yeah. When you train with me, and that's the one thing. When you train with me, like, I have a very, very specific way of training.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, if you train with me, chances are you're gonna win. Like, I go back to all my fights.
And what we did.
What?
And what we did.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I mean? And you ended up finding a dude, and it pissed me off because it was on video. He taps to the exact submission that I showed you, the Von Flew choke, which he's also, Jason Von Flew is actually one of my Facebook friends. So if he's watching this, thank you for your advice. I saw it. I taught it to you, and you beat him. He tapped, but the referee didn't see it. Damn referee. Pissed me off.
Yeah, he'll sit there and deny it, and then he says, we need to
the
fight
entire
again.
time.
I'm like,
You didn't.
You know what? If I knew that I tapped, I would, out of honor and respect as a martial artist, a real martial artist, I'd be like, dude, I lost. There's no way that I could live with myself if I knew that I tapped. I'd be like, dude, no, please, like, stop. I tapped. Like, there's no way I want this win.
Yeah.
There's no way.
That's the way it goes.
It's
You
okay,
take what you can get.
Oh,
When
hell.
you're kind of a shitty fighter, you take what you can get.
Exactly.
Like Leon Taylor, doing all that kind of jazz. It is what it is with you. There's a lot of shitty fighters like that. It is what it is.
It is.
I mean, okay, so Cowboy and Ben Henderson, that last fight that they had before Ben Henderson went off. Like the judges gave it to him, and what happened? Ben Henderson's like, what?
Yep.
And then Cowboy's like,
well, yeah, even Cowboy walks up to him, and what Cowboy told him, he said he was just like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't see it.
no,
He
you
was
don't
just
take
like-
that. Rampage has said, it's like, I don't know what fight the judges were. That, in my opinion, I got my ass kicked. But
Okay.
but it's up to the fighter to appeal that to the commission.
So
and if he doesn't, he doesn't.
One thing I want to go over before we cut out real quick is the Aldo fight. You said that Aldo lost, but so many other fighters are like, even
Which Aldo fight?
Jose Aldo. It was the last one. Remember we talked about it when
Yeah,
comments, I was
Aldo
like,
versus. Oh, Moraes.
Moraes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're talking about that, and there was even a lot of UFC fighters who were like, no.
Yeah.
I don't give that to Moraes one bit. Yes, he had some good rounds, but I had Aldo. What Aldo was 2-3. They were saying 2-3.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
I think it was more tight than anything. It's just it was weird. It's just
I would say a draw would have been better.
a draw would have been way better. To be honest with you,
I still give it to Aldo. Mainly, he was more. Obviously, you say it's the whole walking down thing, which I totally agree. Even I told you, I was like, yeah, I agree with that. The whole walking down thing. But if you see it, Aldo's throwing the little things, which they're always saying counts, and this is why this fighter, this is why this fighter
it's
does it.
not even the walk down. It's the aggression and the impact of what you make when you fight.
Which I saw Aldo being very aggressive.
When he threw,
Yeah.
it would be 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's
I
what
get
a
it.
lot of people don't realize when in fighting. They're just like, oh, I would have done this, I would have done this. Hey, newsflash, here's something for everybody out there, okay? Count how many seconds in between the exchanges on the fights, and you can figure out who's actually going to be the more dominant one based off their continuous throwing of not only punches, but walking forward as well.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, in this, we have an unspoken agreement between fighters. Like, you hit me, okay, cool, let me hit you, you hit me, and that's rhythm fighting. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be doing off rhythm. And if you're going to be doing rhythm, you better be, like, moving
Which is
around.
true. Which is whole Aldo's thing is he's a dancer. He's always moving. I think he's always moving. When he moves, he just and then he picks apart.
Yeah,
people.
Aldo's phenomenal, dude. I love Aldo. Like I love his fight style, but it's just it suits him now. I think he did that solely because the weight cut. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was a crazy weight cut, and he looked great. There's no doubt about
Even
it.
Connor called him out on it. He's like,
dude Aldo
he's like,
looked great.
He's like, dude, he's like, everyone's sitting here talking shit about Aldo.
Yeah.
Saying how he looks sick, how he looks this and this. He's like, but I give hats off to him because it's a tough cut to the 135. It's a seriously tough cut to the 135. Shit, it's a one cut to 145 for me. I'm like,
I'm wondering with all my man muscle and all my fat, if I could ever make it back down, because I know I fought
Yes, you
at
could.
155, and my wife would hate me if I did that. She
that's
would
what Marina
hate
said.
me.
Marina said, I
You
would
look
hate
like
you
an
at
Auschwitz
145.
victim, dog.
You want to know what I weigh at now, since I don't have to cut weight now?
Because you're fat, you look like 200.
I look like a rock.
Hey, you look
Mom,
healthy.
Big
Mom,
bone.
if you're watching
bro.
this-
Big bone.
I'm big bone.
Big bone. I love it. Big bone.
He's big gutted. There's a difference.
Hey.
I love it. I love it. You got better
I bet
tattoos
you
than
weigh
me
as
too.
much as I do.
Huh?
No, I
no,
bet
I'm
you weigh
I'm
as
one.
much as
I'm
he looks good.
171.
He's healthy. I like
I
him.
lost 7 pounds.
I never said he looked bad. I just said he looked fat.
I lost 7 pounds in 2 weeks. I'm cutting my weight. I'm gonna get toned as
I'm
hell.
140.
Shout
I
out
gotta
to
find
Adderall.
motivation to do it. I honestly have to find motivation.
Tim, shout out to Adderall. Shout out to meth.
I could
Do
drop,
it once.
I could drop
Dude,
10 pounds in
don't.
2 weeks.
They say only once. I was like, well, why not?
Hold on, wait.
Why not once?
I forgot. That was the wrong thing to say. It
once
was-
every 3
Don't do it.
No, I'm
hours.
just joking. No math. No math. Seriously, no math.
Don't do meth. Just
Don't
do
do-
Adderall
yeah.
because your doctor says it's okay.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, man.
No, for real though. I'm prescribed hella Adderall, so
So
if
am
I needed to like drop weight,
I need a weight loss pill so I can actually get motivated to do it again. Or
Adderall, dog.
Hold on, we got Rene Espinosa. Shout out to you, man. He said, I think Gabe Miranda is the best fighter of all time.
Aww.
Hell
yeah, that's my dude. That's
Well,
my
we-
dude growing up. And you know, it's funny that he says that because when we were growing up, like I could fight. Like I came from Miami, so we were just fighters. We had to fight. But when I came out here, my dad and my mom was just like, do not fight. For the love of God, don't fight. I come out here in the first week, I got into 3 fights. I know with 3 dudes' asses and got like suspended and stuff like that. Like it was bad.
That's
so
funny.
they're like, you gotta chill. It's not Miami. So I'm like, okay, cool. And eventually I meet this dude, less than a year later, and he was like my boy, my best friend.
Yeah.
Growing up, and then I was like, so I went from here to fighting to like a complete 180 to down here. So everybody assumed that I just couldn't fight, and so he would just like fight for me.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Like he was always about the fight.
That's crazy, man. That's the life of some people, man. They just, they want to throw it down. Even now, man, like, someone's like, dude, I even tell her sometimes, like,
I hope
I've been getting
Chili's is
punched
still
sometimes,
open
but
after
at the same
this.
time, it's like, ugh. But, man, we're about to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody tuning in today for the Wyld Style Podcast, the first episode. It's been great having my guest Gabe, who is my martial artist coach. Yeah. He is awesome. He led me to a win, which was a first round domination. It's awesome, man. He's also a legend around here in the Valley. A lot of people know him. Also, my girlfriend Marina, she just moved here from Alaska about 2 years ago. Probably crazy not having the ocean around here, but a bunch of ditches now. But at least we have some.
We got lakes.
Yeah, we have lakes.
You don't even have lakes.
We have lakes that have some abnormal fishes. That's true.
No, you catch a fish.
That's true. Okay, we'll go about that next time. But until then, thank you to Channel 99 Studio for letting us do this. We appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Tim.
Tune in tomorrow for UFC 246, Cowboy Cerrone versus Conor McGregor. Man, this is going to be an insane fight. Like we said, Gabe's got Cowboy, Marina's got...
I got Conor.
Oh, Conor, sorry. It's the proper 12. I forget. And Marina's got... Who do you got again? She don't even know yet, just like me. And then we got Tim.
Let's get shout-outs real quick.
It's all good.
Let's get shout-outs. Anybody got shout-outs?
Shout out to my one and only true love, my dad.
Okay. Who's Glenn Olson? That's her dad. Coach, you got any shout-outs you want to shout out to?
Shout-outs
okay, first off, for anybody...
follow you. You got a pro page or like a fight page?
You know what?
Or
I don't. I honestly don't. I don't even
that?
train anymore. As far as I'm concerned, I am done with fighting for the most part. Unless, Front Street Fights actually... eventually, they're going to have what is it? A...
K1.
No, not K1. They're going to eventually have a welterweight champion. I've been the only welterweight champion in the state. So, yeah. So there's some facts for Tal Carlson. So if he actually wants to put Kyle Frost up, there's a shout-out to Tal Carlson. Let's go.
Time out. Hold on. You heard it here first. You heard it here first on Wyld Style Podcast. Welterweight champion right here. We got a contender. Yep. Gabe, my coach, wants to go against...
So it's it is what it is. If he wants to fight, I don't got no problem with the dude. But, if you're going to fight for the belt, why don't you fight the original champ? Let me know how good you are then.
Hey, it is what it is. You gotta beat the best to be the best.
I've never seen
you gotta
fight,
beat the best to be the best.
I've definitely sparred and I've trained and worked with Kyle Frost. That dude is nasty, bro.
That dude's a monster. I know how strong he is. And what's
funny?
Call him
the ice box for a reason, dog.
Ice what is hilarious,
dude? He knocked my contact out of my eye. And I've never lost a fight in 12 years.
Okay, hold on real quick. We'll talk about this after. Thank you guys for joining. We appreciate you fucking Kyle Frost. We appreciate you guys joining in, man. Tune in for episode 2. Tune in for episode 2. We're gonna have Izzy Urbazo, who is actually a
local barber.
He is a local barber out here for Hookup Barbershop, man. You guys gotta check him out. He's awesome. He does my hair. He does a great job. He's gonna be here for episode 2. We don't know the date for that yet, but I will get it out to you guys. Thank you guys for joining in. This is Wyld Style Podcast. Sambo out.
Peace.
Peace.